Continuing with the Weber Searwood versus the Camp Chef Woodwind Pro and the Rollbox versus the Camp Chef Smokebox. We're gonna do wings 0 to 400 degrees, but we're gonna add something special. We're gonna cold smoke them for 30 minutes. If these aren't the smokiest wings you ever had, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. See which one comes out better. Should be amazing. Cheers.
Basement.
All right, we got ourselves half a pack of Costco party wings here. We're gonna go ahead and season them up. I've already dried them off. We're not going to do olive oil on these because we don't want any barriers to the smoke once we put them on the smoker, both for the cold smoke and the 0 to 400 process. We're using our favorite wing rub, which is Cosmos Dirty Bird. Love this stuff. A little bit sweet, a little bit salty, good flavor. And we're just gonna go liberal on one side. And then I'm gonna flip and do the other side, nice and simple. All right, that's it. We're gonna stick these in a bowl, put them in the fridge while we get the Camp Chef and the Searwood going for cold smoke. Now for the Searwood, obviously we're using the Rollbox because it doesn't have a built-in smoke box. For the Camp Chef, we're gonna use the built-in smoke box. And then we're gonna turn them both up to 400. We're gonna let them go from 0 to 400 and we're gonna see what's up. See you in a bit. All right, here we are, Camp Chef, Searwood. We're doing this again. We're gonna do cold smoke on both. Now the Camp Chef has a massive advantage here because you can set fan mode so that it's just blowing air over the smoke box and pushing that smoke up. And this one doesn't have that. We just are gonna light the roll box and let it go. So we're gonna start with this roll box and we're gonna add a few chunks of charcoal to the bottom. Now I know some people have been saying, you're supposed to use briquettes. Put 4 briquettes exactly and then put wood on top. Honestly, any charcoal is gonna work. That's their suggested instructions, which is, I'm sure, legit, but any charcoal should work, honestly. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna fill it up with wood. Whoa, just lost a piece in the grill, that's okay. Get started here, crackling already. Let's set her down. All right, let's let that go for a little while. In the meantime, let's get the smoke box on the Camp Chef going. I don't know what the dogs think they're eating. They eat wood pellets. They just assume it's food because it's been dropped on the ground. I'm telling you, if you drop stuff on the ground, they just assume it's food. All right, that's good for charcoal. Now we could start this with the Camp Chef by going through the startup mode and then letting it run for 10 minutes and then turning it off, putting it only on fan mode. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it lit with the torch just to be quick about it. And then I'm gonna put the wood chunks on top of that lit charcoal. Put some wood on top. Now while that goes, I'm gonna put this on fan mode, which I've never done before. So I'm making a little bit of an assumption that it's gonna be very easy to find, but the interface here is very good, I must say. So there it is right there, fan mode. Fan speed 5, is that what we want, Donnie? I don't know what the dogs are hearing. Lulu, stop. All right, so fan mode. What the heck? There coyotes out there or what? All right, so fan mode's on. Now we can just stick this in. So leave that open at all times. It has to be, right, in order for the... All right, so we should see some smoke start to come up kind of like that. I can hear it crackling. Oh yeah, I see the smoke. I hear the crackling. Less smoke so far than the roll box, but I assume it's gonna catch up. They're eating charcoal, wood pellets, and barking at phantoms. What can I say? Oh yeah, we got a pool table recently in the basement, and now if we leave chalk out, Buster, the big guy, eats it. I don't know what's going on. Can't be good for dogs. It's starting to rain, baby. Sometimes it feels like it wouldn't be a basement hangout episode if it wasn't for rain. All right, so let's let these guys burn a little bit, and in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, we'll come out and put the wings on and close the lids. Man, it is very smoky out here. Smells fantastic. I'm gonna have to wash my clothes tonight. Whew, that is a lot of damn smoke. All right, we got tons of smoke. I can barely stand here for too long before I start coughing, so let's pop these wingers on I'm gonna go drums to the left because when we kick these on for the 0 to 400 portion, left is the hot side. Drums typically take longer. So we got 6 drums there. Let's go 6 drums over here. Same thing, hot side on the left. Man, that is a lot of smoke. If these aren't the smokiest wings you ever had, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. All right, let's go some flats on the right, 6 and 6. Whew, I'm looking forward to this. All right, so we're gonna set a timer for 30 minutes and then we're gonna crank them up to 400 degrees and let them go 0 to 400. See you in a bit. 30 minutes in, we're ready to boost these guys up to 400 degrees, 0 to 400, and the smoke is no joke. That Rollbox is legit. And then over here on the Camp Chef side, smoke box is legit. Also going strong. This is gonna be nice. Now for the pellets, I gifted a buddy of mine, Dave, a box of Smokin Pecan pellets, which he's gonna love. But in return, he gifted me a bag of lumberjack char hickory, which I've never tried, and I love lumberjack. So I'm looking forward to this. We're gonna give this guy a shot. Oh boy, dogs are gonna eat that. They heard something fall, here they come. How are the sizes of the pellets? Donnie's asking me. I mean, this is lumberjack, so they're gonna be good. They're perfect. This isn't Pit Boss pellets or Kirkland. This is lumberjack, baby. Let's turn on the Sear wood. We're gonna set her right up to 400 degrees. Look at this. I haven't even turned this thing on yet. Now, the startup mode requires that the lid be open over here. The Sear wood doesn't require that, but to make sure things are even and fair, we're gonna open it anyway. Once it gets through its startup mode, we'll close both lids. All right, startup cycle done. We're ready to close these guys 0 to 400 degrees. So this is gonna be super interesting. Wow, look at all that smoke pouring out of the bottom. What's happening right now? I don't know. What does that mean, Donnie? I guess we're gonna find out, aren't we? See you in a bit. All right, so we're only 10 minutes in, but I gotta point something out. The Sear wood is at 400 degrees. The wings are sizzling, totally sizzling already. The Camp Chef, on the other hand, is at 336 degrees and it's like nothing's happening. So these are obviously gonna take longer. I got a feeling that the Sear wood wings are gonna have some crisp. They're gonna be done much quicker. And these, based on what I'm seeing right now, are not gonna be crispy at all. So we're gonna balance the smoke flavor with the crispiness and everything else to pick a winner. Right now, Sear wood is looking like it's gonna win this battle. We'll see. All right, we're gonna flip the Sear woods because they are almost done already. And these guys have a ways to go. How are we gonna do this? The thing is, if we put the Sear wood wings down to 180, they could dry out. I mean, the Sear wood's no joke with the heat. I think I gotta move these to the middle, or maybe even over to the left.
You should probably move them all over there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to take these off soon. They're not gonna be hot by the time we eat them because they gotta come off way quicker than the Camp Chefs are at 130 degrees. These guys are almost ready. The Camp Chef is not reaching temperature. Why is the Camp Chef not reaching, 340 degrees after all this time? How long has it been? So I did notice when we first got this thing that when I wanted to get it to high heat, it took a very, very long time. So that is a drawback of this. Again, with any of these machines, you gotta take the good with the bad. Smoke box, amazing. Smoke flavor, amazing. But if you want to do high heat, you better be patient. This guy is up to temp like immediately. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. So what we can do is take them off and stick them in the oven on warm, which is like 160 degrees. It's the only thing I can think. But we're gonna have to take that into account when we do the taste test. Oh, I'm not sure what to do here.
If we give it more fuel, maybe we can get it to 400.
More fuel? We can't give it more fuel.
Well, I mean, if we go higher.
We could set it to 1,000 degrees. It hasn't reached 400 yet. It's moving up, it's moving up. We just gotta let it do what it does, man. Donnie's thinking, we just transfer the Camp Chef wings to the Sear wood? Well, based on that, the Sear wood's already won, but we're gonna see what happens with the smoke flavor and everything else. So we'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so we're only a few minutes past the last time and the Sear wood wings are way done. They're good to go. The Camp Chef still hasn't reached 400 degrees. It's at 382 right now. Honestly, this is not what we were expecting, but you know what? When you're comparing two grills, you don't know what you don't know. I'm pretty upset. Camp Chef! This is why I always end up with the Sear wood. You know what I mean? We're gonna stick these in the oven on warm. We're gonna wait for that thing to, hey, it's still not at 400 degrees. I mean, they look beautiful. Can't complain about that. I can complain about this, 395. We're finally about to hit temp. All right, so the Camp Chef never reached 400 degrees. It got as high as 398, and then it went back down to 393 for some reason. But we just probed the wings, and they're at about 188 degrees, so we're gonna go ahead and flip. They don't have the same browning or blackening as the Searwood ones do, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're not gonna be as good. Anyway, so they're flipped. We're gonna give this another 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do the taste test. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Now, just to be fair, we're gonna stick these in the oven on warm for a few minutes with the Searwood ones. I mean, they do look good though, but they just don't seem as crispy right off the bat. Never reached 400 degrees in the entire time. I'm not sure how I feel about that, other than to be a little disappointed. Camp Chef. All right, we'll see you guys in there. Searwood wings, Camp Chef wings. You can see the Searwood ones obviously are darker. All right, blind taste test, you're up first.
You're up first, man.
Me?
Yeah.
All right, if you insist.
You can't look.
I'm not gonna look.
You gotta close your ears so you can't hear either.
Okay.
Because you might be able to hear
Ears
the
closed.
crispiness.
It's taking a long time, dude.
I'm finding exact matches.
Are you gonna go flats or drums?
Flats. You
Yes.
like flats.
Good, good.
All right. Keep your eyes closed.
Good flavor. That Dirty Bird seasoning it's amazing. But the skin is rubbery. It's not crispy at all. It's juicy, it's flavorful, it's very smoky, but very rubbery skin. I gotta say right away, this has to be the Camp Chef based on what we saw earlier.
Okay. So would you serve this on a Saturday night?
I would serve it and people would be happy, but I would also apologize for the rubbery skin, if I'm being honest. Would I pay for it?
No.
I'm not 100% sure on that. If that was the Searwood, I'm gonna be really surprised.
There you go. Eyes up here.
Wow, way more smoky. A bit crispier, way more smoky. Like big time.
How much smoke did the first one have?
0 to 10, that was 5. This is like 9.
So this one you'd pay for. Extra.
I'd pay for this one.
$5
Flavor's
a wing.
still really good. That's where it's at. Now you can turn and eat, just don't look down at it.
So hard. There's definitely a crispiness to this one. It's got really nice flavor.
I
But
can hear you
the crunch.
crunching it, yeah. Oh yeah, you're tearing it up. Your beard's getting it too.
Saving it for later.
All
Be
right,
sleeping.
set it down. You ready for the next one?
Yeah. Way different.
Yeah,
No crunch.
no crunch. Which one's smokier?
The first one.
Okay,
I'd probably choose the first one.
first one. Second one, Camp Chef. First one, Searwood. What about me? Same, it's gotta be the same.
Same.
Yeah, Searwood wins 100%. Big time win.
Yeah, I would still eat these ones though. So.
Oh yeah, oh I ate them both. They're excellent. They're both excellent, but the Searwood is better. Searwoods are bomb. We're gonna go with those. We're gonna toss some Searwoods.
Yeah, the Searwood definitely had way more smoke to it.
So that Rollbox.
Rollbox? Is that what it's called? Rollbox?
Rollbox, legit.
I wanted to get one.
So I know we've been over this with you guys a million times, but Frank's Red Hot and butter is all you need for true traditional buffalo wing sauce. Do a quick toss. Ranch. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's still got some good crisp to it too.
That smoke flavor is legit. All right, battle number, what is this? Battle number 3, 4? I don't even know.
4.
Is this 4? We're not sure. It's battle number 3 or number 4 goes to the Searwood. When you want to cook things hot, the Searwood can't be beat. Camp Chef can't hold up. It's good at smoking stuff low and slow, hot and fast. Honestly, not very good. Depends on what you want.
I want these ones.
There you go. Thanks for hanging out.
Sorry, still eating. See you next time.
Searwood wins hands down on this one.
Oh, these are like way better.
I wonder what Bob would say.
We already know.
Flagship.
Kamado.